Hi, I'm Lisa. Welcome to my garden. In today's video, I wanted to give you guys a tour and let you see what's going on here in our garden. The last time that I did a video, we were doing the garden install, and we have since done our installation. Things aren't complete. We still have a lot of things to get done in our garden, but I want to give you guys just a brief tour and let you see what's going on. So come on, let's go. So first up, we're here at a garden bed that I have not finished yet. This garden bed is meant to be my, I want to say medicinal and also tea garden. Again, these garden beds are 16 feet long by 4 feet wide. So let's take a look and see what I've got going on here. I have lemon balm. I also have catnip. I have bee balm plant right here. This is yarrow. Let's see, this right here is echinacea. So the other day I took out, these are some of my tomato plants. These are 14 tomato plants that I have grown from seed. This is back in March that I grew these. These are, the variety is called Pantano. I got these years ago from Baker Creek, and I thought I would try to grow them, and lo and behold, they sprouted. So really happy about that. I am planning on growing them elsewhere here in the garden. We were at a garden center. There's lots of garden centers around here. And I picked up some watermelon and some more mint. Let's finish the keyhole. The keyhole garden here. So, like I said, this particular area here is for my more medicinal plants. Over here is my culinary herbs. So, for example, I have parsley. I've got lemon thyme that's growing back here. I've got basil that's growing, and I've also, you're going to be able to see some of the seeds coming in as well. I have planted basil seeds. I also have my green onions. I've got chives, lamb's ear, sage. Who else do I have growing in here? Lots of thyme, oregano, rosemary. My rosemary is right there. I've got dill back here. I don't know. It looks to me like the dill might be struggling a little bit. It could be because of the temperature fluctuations. Cilantro is back there. And then I have this empty section here is, I have some potatoes that have come from this bed over here. So this bed, this is all filled with Kennebec, potatoes, a purple variety. I can't remember the purple variety, but this is all Kennebec and a purple variety of potatoes. And I do need to hill them up. Hilling up the potatoes, all that means is simply adding dirt or straw or anything like that to the base of the plants so that the potatoes can keep growing up. And so I definitely need to do that with these guys. So next up here in the keyhole is this front area here, and this is filled with my determinate paste tomatoes. So these are just plain Roma tomatoes. I forgot how many plants I have here. I'm not intending on staking these or adding a whole lot of support to them. I think I'm going to add just a couple of stakes, but I'm not going to do anything dramatic with these guys. Okay, so that's the keyhole garden. Now let's take a look at some of the other raised beds that we have going on here. So here on the other side of the garden, when you come up our hill, you will see I have dahlias and peonies planted here. Peonies are my favorite flowers. I've never grown them before though. So I only have 2 of them. There's one over here and there's one over here, and then the dahlias, of course. I do have a bud coming on here with my peony, so that's very exciting. On the back side of the hoop house, we were just over here with the potatoes. Now here on the back side of the hoop house, this area is for flowers, but also for things like chamomile. I've got chamomile coming up in here. I've got calendula coming up in here as well. They're coming up as seedlings. On the other side over here, this is the first garden bed for now. I'm going to be building another garden bed right here. And I got to do that pretty soon because I've got more tomatoes that need to come out and in ground. But for right now, this first garden bed is housing our leafy greens. Kale. I've got lettuce that's growing in down there. I've got lots of Swiss chard that's coming in as well. And this trellis here is housing sweet peas. Over here, we've been harvesting collards. That's what this row is, row of collard greens. And they've been doing really well. On the back side of this trellis is cabbage as well. And I have the same theme. This particular trellis here will house my sweet peas. My next garden bed here is a little bit of a disappointment, but you live and you learn. This is a new growing environment for me, so I've not had to deal with extreme cold. I usually have to deal with extreme heat. But this is my broccoli that's coming in. And the problem that I'm having with the broccoli here is a problem called buttoning. And basically that means that the broccoli is putting on small little heads and they're not producing big heads. And I think that has a lot to do with the temperature fluctuations that we had this spring. It was kind of cold. Other gardeners have told me that this was considered a cold spring. That caused some buttoning to go on. Next up to bat here is the garlic. I was a little behind on the 8-ball, planted that a little late in the season. As a matter of fact, I planted it early spring this year. So I'm expecting to get a harvest of my garlic plants in the month of July. The same thing with my onions. I planted most of my onions from seed. I started my onions by seed in the month of February, but they seem to be a little bit slower in growth. It could be the variety, it could be where I was growing them in our basement, I'm not sure, but they seem a little bit more behind than other people's. My celery that's coming in fantastically, and spinach. And I'm about actually to start harvesting some of my spinach plants to throw into salads and also with my eggs. Back here I have some blueberries that I had got from local hardware store, and I'm regretting every minute of it. And the reason why I'm regretting it so much is because even though they were less expensive, they just don't have a whole lot of growth on them. As opposed to this blueberry plant that I got from a local nursery, it already has a lot of growth on it, and even the potential for blueberries. So I have learned a valuable lesson. I will be buying more blueberries from my local nurseries. Yeah. We have 13 acres and most of our property is completely wooded. So there's a lot of interesting things that I've already found growing in our woods. Some things are medicinal and some things are actually edible. And I'm very fortunate. I don't have to plant raspberries and blackberries. I have them growing naturally here in our woods. As you can see, our property slopes. It slopes going down this way. And this is what we are starting to affectionately call Strawberry Hill. Let me show you why. Our thought process with Strawberry Hill is to let the strawberries grow all the way down this slope and just kind of take over half of this little hilled area. They can grow to their heart's content. It's easy for me to bend down and to get some of the strawberries, although I think I'm going to be competing with my kids on this one and the squirrels. I have lettuce that has been maturing, and this is a mixture of lettuce. Some of it is head lettuce, some of it is romaine lettuce, like this guy right here. I believe the variety is Paris. And then these are just various head lettuces that are down here. This, because you see the trellis here, this is housing my peas. And it's my intention for the shelling peas to just grow right up along this trellis. This looks like a weedy mess, and there are weeds in here. I do have to come through and weed, but what you're mainly seeing here is carrots. So I have a ton of carrots that are growing in here. I will not thin them out until they get a little bit bigger. I know some people will thin them out. Most people thin them out at this stage. I like to wait a little bit longer and then I'll thin them out. I thin mine out when it gets to a point that I can eat them fresh, and I use them as small little carrots. This row here is this row that I have going on here is my spicy peppers. So this is all jalapeno and nasturtium in this row. This row here is, the seeds have not come up yet. I have, well, oh wait, hold on. Oh, nope, that's a weed. Yeah, the seeds have not come up yet, but these are bush beans are planted all in this row. So I'm waiting for them to sprout, and yeah. And in the meantime, this row here, I just planted the other day. This is housing my tomatoes. Now these are slicing tomatoes. These are tomatoes for fresh eating. They are not for canning and storage purposes. I believe it's I have boxcar willy, woods brim, and slicing tomato that's up here. I can't think of the name of it. On the other side of this trellis here slash fencing that we're starting to install, on the other side here is spaghetti squash. So my intention is to have the spaghetti squash grow up. I don't want it to loop over anything at this point. I want it just to grow just to this height. I will top them off. I've done that before just to prevent overgrowth. But that's pretty much it. We're going to be doing the fencing so that it goes across. That's why we have this orange line right here. The fencing will be going all the way back there. And the spaghetti squash will be able to grow. It'll be able to wrap itself around. That's it for today's video. I'm so thankful to take you guys on this nice garden tour. Just kind of a nice little stroll through our garden. And stay tuned for the next video, and you guys will be able to see the results of our garden tour. And things are growing really fast because we are getting a lot of daylight. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and until next time, stay safe out there.